Hello and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 1 of Not Another Leeds podcast. And I know what you're thinking. Weren't these guys banned last season? No, we're still here. We're good to go. And today we have the Gericle with us. Hello, Jer. How are we today, sir?
Yeah, good. It's been a busy day, but this is the job
busy.
now. So, yeah, not bad.
It is. If not, you can always join me on Only Dance. You know, there's room there, some feet pics or something.
When the transfer window closes and the views dry up, I might just drop in with you, mate, rather than get a real job.
Look, we can heal our two countries via Only Dance foot pics. That's all I'm saying. Bring us closer together. Kev, how are you doing, buddy? You're missing the iconic beard.
Yeah, shaved it off, mate. Just started my own van company, haven't I? Only Vans. Yep. So.
Yeah. We're here all season feet people.
Oh, this beard will be back very soon. I look like a geography teacher who's done some. He's on some registers, so I'm going to be growing it back soon. Yeah.
Wow! Right off the bat.
Watch out for Facebook groups, Kev.
Yeah.
Knocking the front door.
That as you mean to go on, people.
Go to jail for
we are a Leeds United podcast. It just so happens sometimes. James, you're looking well refreshed. You've been anywhere?
Oh, went to San Francisco, didn't I? Used to shit bags didn't turn up, so just went illusion by myself. But do you know how I got there?
No. Tell us what happened.
Well, our new sponsor have asked me to promote HMS Ellen Float. Got a pick, mate. Whack it on.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah. Is this the
Red Bull?
Is this
Obviously.
the sister ship to HMS Pistol League?
Yeah, the failed last season's HMS Pistol League is new and improved Red Bull, and so I went to San Francisco. Sorry, mate.
It's got rocket boosters now. You're definitely winning the league. Just because of rocket boosters.
There we go.
For those that
there you go.
Look it now.
Put it back on.
If you squint your eyes, you can just make out James on the top deck.
Available at all travel shops and some rubbish ones as well.
Yeah, there's a few cruises coming this season. We're cruising around the EFL, picking up all the points. So book now.
Book now, yeah. And that gives us a nice little segue into this podcast. Well, I'm fine. Thanks, everyone, for asking. But yeah, welcome back, everyone. Yep. And we're just as excited to, get back to it. Flirt with getting banned, shall we say. Joe, there's 5 things you need to know about me. The first one is I'm very secretive. Anyway, let's move on. Pre-season, fellas. I'll come to you first, Joe. How was pre-season for you? Were there any standouts for you, mate?
I thought you were asking how my pre-season was. I was like, I didn't do an awful lot. Sat on the sofa a bit, watched a bit of telly. Didn't do much. I really like Joe Rothwell, what I've seen so far of him in pre-season. And I'm a big fan of this more forward version of Ilya Groove as well. I kind of like that as well. He's getting in the box. He's causing problems. So I think the preseason's been great. Been really, really good. You shouldn't read a huge amount into it, but it's been really, really solid. And the football we've played looks really good and has been really enjoyable so far. So, yeah, all good for me.
Yeah, it's solid. I like what you say, especially for the goal against Hanover, where he flicked it to Bogle over the top. Kev, obviously you've still got battle scars from the Euros in Germany and stuff. Firstly, are you okay now from Germany? And what do you think to pre-season?
No, not okay from Germany. We'll talk about that another time. But my German safe word was Schnauzer, and they didn't understand with my lisp, so it didn't go down too well. But I agree with you. Honestly, every game I've watched, I thought we were absolutely brilliant. Especially that Schalke game, the way we were doing the Leeds bits, if that's how I can describe it. It was just brilliant. Honestly, it's probably one of the best pre-seasons I've seen us have in a long time. I remember it was at Monaco last year when Ampadu was just running around booting everyone. He looked like a lost headless chicken, and then he turned into the best player. And everybody's played well this year. I cannot believe that every single player has played well. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. And I've got was
the Schalke game? Is that when Somerville came on as sub? Because I thought they were quite rough with him, weren't they? Mm-hmm. And that's when he picked up his hamstring injury, I believe. James, what about you?
It's West Hamstring. It's West Hamstring. It was.
It's West
Nice.
Hamstring. Indeed, it was.
Nice.
We're all about the puns. We love puns. James, what about your pre-season, mate? And Leeds United pre-season.
Yeah. I worked out a lot on that cruise ship, didn't I? So, and I also ordered the new yellow top, but Leeds thought, you know what? Instead of it just fitting you, I'm going to give you a big one to fit your whole family. So yeah, actually opened it, I thought it was a tent. I was like, what's going here? Yeah. So it's coming soon. I've just sent it back today. Yeah, I thought it was brilliant, mate. I thought there's a little bit of variation in the way we're playing, the formations switching, and it's doing it within game as well. So one half it'll be one way. So I think he's trying to adapt to the games where we struggled a bit and trying something new, which is good, and we look good doing it as well. So yeah, all of them would do it. Yeah, I thought everyone was kicking fuck out of us all fucking pre-season, apart from Harrogate because they couldn't get near us, but they were all kicking fuck out of us. But brilliant, mate. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to tomorrow and getting smashed into it now because I think we're gonna fucking fly.
The Valencia game were just at one point I thought I was watching the film Mean Machines when it were the cons against the guards. I was expecting Vinnie Jones to just knock someone out. It was absolutely
when
crazy.
Ampadu got booked for getting pushed in the face. Did you see that?
We're doing nothing. We're just standing there and being pushed.
He went. It's because you didn't fall over. It's like you should fall over. Yellow card, you twat.
Yeah. It's the new hairstyles everyone's got. I think Ampadu he's got his new trim and he's got the armband. He's a lot more prickly. I mean, Joe, what do you think to Ampadu since he's got the armband? It's like he's just been signed by the WWE, isn't he?
Couple of clotheslines, no rock bottom and a corner flag would go down nicely. Yeah. He's been good. Look, we all want a bit of a niggle, especially somebody wearing number 4. You expect a bit of bite in there.
He has got Scotty Too Hot his hair as well, hasn't he? That's why he's going to start doing the worm in that.
He's not the only one either. Joseph and Ampadu. There was one big bottle of hair bleach floating around, and Ampadu got it done and was like, I've got a bit left, and Paddy was like, I'll have a bit of that, and then Mateo was like, I'll have a bit of it as well.
Eminem.
Yeah.
No, he's been good. He's been really good in pre-season. And I like the niggle. Just keep it under control. But getting in people's faces, a bit of shithousery, laughing at people when they're getting sent off. But you're like, yeah, I'm all right with this. I could watch this season. Yeah, he seems to have taken the position by the scruff of the neck, and he's like, I'm going to do this properly. I'm going to do it the Leeds way, and I'm all here for that. He's been brilliant.
Yeah. What about you, Kev? Is the captain the right choice for Ampadu? Do you think? Because everyone thought it was going to be Strike.
The reason I'm glad he's picked Ampadu because there's if Max Vober stays, there's going to be some difficult decisions in that left centre back slot, isn't there? Coming throughout this season, coming up. Because if anything happens to Strauch and Vober steps in, this is why I think he's gone for Ampadu as the club captain because he's going to play every minute of every game. When he was captain last year, he was great, and I just don't think he's going to have to make those difficult decisions about leaving one of the defenders out. So yeah, I think it's a great decision for that. He's given himself a bit of leeway there, really, hasn't he? I think Farker. So yeah, it's quite smart, and he's the best man for the job. So that helps. Yeah.
And he's got Millier as a vice captain. Okay. Well, more of a Sylvester Stallone than a Millier impression, but he's like, can you understand what he's saying? What about you, James? Is it the right appointment?
Yeah. He's got that bit of piss taken about him that we all love. Like when Click did it. I mean, you'd think that they'd look at these characters and see what do we love about them, and that's the stuff that he does is exactly what we love. He did it last year. It was at Huddersfield when that player got sent off. He's right in his face. He was like, yeah, fuck off, get off. Yeah. Brilliant. So yeah, I love it. Yeah, I think I'm glad he's in midfield as well, actually, because I actually quite like him. And he's doing that over the top ball a lot, and it's coming off. And it's brilliant because he can do it perfectly, and he can do it a bit more advanced as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with him. Great for captain as well, mate.
I think the squad as a whole throughout pre-season, I think we've played really well. Obviously, Bogle came in towards the end. Rothwell came in pretty much straight away. You touched on him there, Joe. What particularly? I mean, do you think Rothwell's a smart signing?
I do. Yeah, I think he's a tempo changer. I think how fast he moves the ball, he takes minimal amount of touches. If you look at the difference, say, between him and Glenn Kamara last year, when Kamara got the ball, he'd always take a touch, he'd open his body up, he'd have a little look, he'd take another touch, and then he'd go around the corner or slightly sideways. And I think what you've seen with Rothwell is it'll bounce and it's gone straight away. Right, ball will run across him, he takes one touch, gone out of his feet. Same with set pieces as well. We've seen it from the corners and we've seen free kicks as well. If he's close to the ball when the free happens, he's got his hand on it straight away and he's moving it quickly before the opposition get a chance to settle into a shape. And I think there's a huge benefit in that. At times last year, when we got into a slow tempo, we just couldn't get out of it. We were just left, right, couldn't break teams down. I think somebody like Joe Rothwell will give us a little bit different than these kind of big kind of arced balls that he likes to put in behind the back line as well to try and break a low block as well. I think it'll be beneficial. He's obviously, by the looks of things, he's not going to start the season in the number 8 position, but I think he'll have a big impact for us off the bench to start the season. And if we don't bring in another central midfielder, which I think we should, but if we don't, I think he can push his way into that team eventually and be an important player in that midfield. And he can get a couple of goals. We've seen him strike balls for Southampton, so we know he can hit a ball.
And he scored that one against Huddersfield, didn't he? And absolutely silenced the backs because it was so much swaz on it as well. He just casually jogged back to centre, like, grow up, Rothwell.
Outside of his right boot on the volley, like he just skimmed it and just whips it up into the top corner. Beautiful goal.
Oh, he's just texted me actually. Thanks for the shout. No problem, mate. No problem. Kev, Rothwell, smart signing.
Very much so. He's going to be worth his weight in gold. It's a loan. Obviously, there's no obligations with it if it doesn't work out. I mean, he's not the fastest, is he? He's really good technically. When he runs, it's like he's running through massive pallets of milk or something. Do you know what I mean? Where he's just sprinting through the middle of the pitch. So yeah.
Milk that's been left from pregnant cats in basements and stuff.
Yeah, that's something like that anyway. But yeah, I really like him. Those flicks and tricks he was doing
everywhere.
The flicks and tricks he was doing on the Germany tour was brilliant. Do you know what? I think he'd be better for us than he was for Southampton, the way that we play as well. And he's going to be that progressive ball player that kind of did. Yeah, and that too. But he's a do you know what, James? You just put me off now. Go to James now, man. He's just ruining my day.
James, I'm going to come to you. Guess what I'm going to ask you?
What are you going to ask me?
Do you like cheese?
About Rothwell? I love cheese.
Yes.
Not too much.
No, like with Rothwell, Joe made a good point there. Like, he's completely different to Kamara. Defensively, Kamara's probably better, but the fact that he's always scanning Rothwell for me, he's always scanning for that player behind him. He can turn fast, move the ball fast. Yeah, he's a pervert. Yeah, a pervert footballer. There's a few of them. Where am I going with this? Don't know. James, give me your opinion.
He's got good hair as well, which is nice.
Good
hair.
Oh, look
good
at
feet.
Me. I've got nice
hair.
Got
good feet. I like him. He is a variation, isn't he? Like last year, it was almost left to the front four and then the fullback sort of supporting. But now we've got another option, so more options for us, and we're learning as well, aren't we? Last season there was things that we just all right, Zane.
Sorry.
He's
we're learning, like
days, hasn't he? Yeah,
I know he has. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll sign your balls. All right, just leave it.
Excuse me.
We're learning. We're learning from last season, mate. We're learning from last season. We're trying new things and we're getting different players in for different formations. So I'm all for it. And I like him. Yeah.
And lastly, on pre-season, Joe, there were talks of a back three, with Rowe staying. Do you think he'll go with the 4-2-3-1, or do you think there is an element of we can go to a back three now?
Yeah, I think he'll go 4-2-3-1 until we have to break somebody down, and then I think he'll change it. Then, if he has to, he'll go to the three at the back and then pile everybody else up front like he did last year. I would like to see a better plan B than that option last year of let's just put all the strikers up front and see what happens. But yeah, he's got options there now. I think we're playing differently. I think the passing patterns are slightly different than last season. We're getting the ball into the front players a lot earlier. We've seen options from when Strokes picked the ball up from Melier, where he's just automatically gone straight around the corner into the far corner of the pitch straight away to get the winger into space before they start dropping, which is new. We didn't see that last year at all. And he has that option to go three at the back and do a 3-4-3, which we saw against Harrogate, which I think, again, suits kind of a lot of the players. If he wants to take the wide players out of the game and tuck them in and get 2 more 10s, you've got Aronson and Rutter can play in there, and then you've got Bogle and Firpo, who arguably are better wing backs than they are full backs. So it kind of plays into their strengths as well. And if you've got, again, removing the emotion from it, if you've got a Max Vober sitting there and you've got an option of a back three of Rodon, Vober, and Stroke, it's probably the best back three you'll see in the division by a mile, like in terms of ability, So assuming he's still here when the window closes, but yeah, I think he's got good options this year, and we've definitely got a second formation, which last year we didn't at all. So it's better than what we had last year. But I really like the style of football that I've seen so far, and I hope we see it tomorrow, and then for the remainder of the season, a bit more pace in what we do.
Yeah. What about you, Kev? How do you feel? Do you feel it'll just do what? Exactly what Jay's just said?
Yeah, I think both formations suit what we've got really well, especially with a back three. We'd get a lot of attacking like width from Firpo and Bogle, and the last year we played a lot of live inside forwards, and apart from Dan James, I know Farker likes his wingers especially when he was at Norwich, they were tucked in a little bit. So I think that'd probably get the best out of Rutter if he's playing as like a half winger instead of the actual number 10, and that's what you'd get in that. Like with the back three, but I just think looking at the whole team that we've got now and the squad, I think both formations suit exactly how we're going to play. And I think that now with Somerville gone, I think we're going to see a better Willie Nonto for some strange reason. I think he's going to be like the big player this year for us, and yeah, just hope he's still here. But yeah, big season for all of us.
Do you think the tactics will? Because obviously in pre-season we didn't come up against a low block as much because they were quite pressing. Do you think we'll struggle straight away, Kev?
I think we'll see a lot of sideways passing again, and I think we're going to see that a lot for the start of the season, especially at these teams with a low block. And I think we're going to see that tomorrow at Portsmouth, newly promoted team. But I do think without Somerville in there, I think we'll try and unlock defences a bit quicker instead of trying to get in the ball to Somerville all the time. But we'll be a bit more patient, and there'll be a lot more passes in behind, and instead of just getting it to Somerville. And I think that's how we're going to open up defences a bit more instead of relying on everything going through him. I think it's going to be like more of a balanced team effort now, and I think that might suit us a lot more than what it did last year. Like, before maximum points, I think. Yeah. Before I come to you, James, and you say some more tactical jargon, we have just hit a milestone, everyone, because we have got our very first.
Hey!
Wow!
Our very first Mick T. Thank you very much. You are our first donation, and that will go towards back into the channel, paying for our fines, no doubt, from YouTube. But thanks very much for that, mate. Matching on together, really appreciate that, and. Yeah, thanks very much. James, what about you, mate? Tactical jargon, say some stuff like false 9 and low block. Let's go.
No, I'm going to say that considering there was a lot of deficiencies in last season's sort of formation when we come up against certain teams, for most seasons it was still enough, and it was a rush job, very hard start of the season. We did fantastic, and now he's had time. He's identified where it went wrong, and he's changed stuff. He's got players in that can do that, and I'm really looking forward to what happens when we do come up against these low blocks. Did you throw Rothwell on to just bang one in the top corner, and then it's like, yeah, sound mate? I don't know. We'll see, but
just that easy.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah. See.
Yeah. So we can all agree that. Pre-season was successful. I think we won everyone, didn't we? And we did see some good stuff. Hopefully now, going forward, we can all get on HMS Ellen Float and collect loads of points. Let's go
get on the float.
Yeah, get on the float. Mark Edison has said, "Oh, thank God you finally added some class to the team in Jer. He will show you the way." I don't know where you were last season, mate, but Jer was one of the highest attendees.
Yeah, we're on his shows as well. We've been with Joe for a while now. Yeah.
And the way is that way, by the way. If you're looking for the way, it's over there. Just head that way.
It's like a cousin, man. It's like part of the family. It's a cousin.
Yeah.
Cousin you don't talk to that often, but you see, you have to tolerate them at weddings and funerals.
It's just that person that you send saucy pictures to who doesn't reply and blocks you on everything. But anyway, so
speaking of pictures and Joe, I noticed that you put some photos up of you playing football on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you had hair, and you look
I
miserable.
did.
So
Yeah, I was.
I'd like to say you look very happy now, mate, and I'm proud that you made the sacrifice.
Please
I?
don't.
It just
stop
sucks all the
having a go.
happiness.
You look happy now.
Hair ruins
You
life.
just look really miserable.
ruins-
I thought maybe it's the hair. Maybe that's why it's miserable because
Shave
you've
it
got
off.
hair there.
Get rid of it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we start fighting and suing each other, let's move on to if you're new here, please stay with us. Really,
Stay for a bit, yeah.
we're going on to we're going to a new version of Guess the Player. Now it is slightly different from last season because it started to get silly towards the end. And we only got 2 successful guesses.
Started to get silly towards the end.
Okay, it started silly and ended up just being absolutely dreadful. So there are some clues in the photo. What happens is I put a photo up and you see the clues, and I'll give you about 5-6 seconds just to take them all in, and we'll get some guesses in the comments and from our panel as well. So here we go. Here is this week's Guess the Player. Look at all the clues that you can see. Ignore his bulge in his pants, but who do you think this person could be? So you got some shirt, you got a trophy there, something on the wall, you got another shirt on the bed. He's got a nice tie on. That's irrelevant, but I'm just saying he's got a really nice tie, probably from Next. So let's get some guesses in the comments as well if you are watching. Zane, behave yourself, please. I've seen you in the comments. Jer, I will come to you last because I like to give you I make you sweat. James, I'll come to you first, mate. Who do you think that player is? Did you see the clues?
I did. It's Chris Sutton.
Chris Sutton. Oh, I think Jer's got it, you know. Kev, you must have this.
I had Chris Sutton.
Oh, okay. I'm neither confirming or denying. It could be Chris Sutton. It might be his pet dog,
Probably not.
Fifi. But Jer, who do you think this
Damien
player
Duff.
is?
Oh,
think it's Damien Duff.
yeah.
The Shamrock Rovers pendant, although I don't know if he played for Rovers, but he definitely played for Blackburn and Chelsea and
Celtic. That was my old
now
side
second
then.
guess.
What was the Celtic?
Is it Duffer?
See, this is it.
One is.
So who do you think
Probably
it is?
the
Are
Celtic
you
thing
locking
as
it in?
well.
Are you locking it in?
Yeah, go
Let's
on.
have a look in
Damien
the.
Duff.
Yes.
Probably wrong.
Let's look in the comments. Zane is John Terry. No. Gareth Northgate. And then not a clue. I don't think that's a person, Mick. Well, I can reveal to you that this person, it is indeed your fellow compatriot, Damien Duff. Well done.
My God.
Well done.
Oh, that's fantastic, Joe.
Up the
Wicked
Duffer.
tackle.
Up the Duffer.
Up there, Duffer. Yeah, he went from
Up the
I think it was
Duffer.
96 from 96 to 2003 or 2000, I think it was, from Blackburn. He went to Chelsea, won the Premier League, and then he went on to Newcastle, and then he ended up at Shamrock Rovers. So well done, Jer. You've got it right. I'm in shock. I did not know. See, I put the Shamrock Rovers up there. Yeah.
He was a great player as well, Damien Duff. You know, he was just
wasn't he?
very underrated.
I thought you meant Spyro the Dragon was a great player.
Spyro, yeah, he was a good.
Yeah.
Spyro was very good in the wing.
Crash Bandicoot as well. He was up there.
Good in the middle.
My funny
Someone was
guess
ahead
was
of
Ned Steve.
Right, Zane. I'm not even joking, mate. Somehow get older because you're too young for this podcast, mate.
Wow.
He was a really good Irish player, really good, and I always bought him on FIFA. Anyway, so well done, Jer. Really good Irish player. Right, so we're going to move on to some news. Obviously, we will start with the biggie. Mr. Crescencio Somerville has moved on for 25 million, according to reports, to West Ham. Jer, I'd like your thoughts on the old saga, if you will, please.
Sad to see him go because he was an important player. Disappointed with the fee, but then you've also got to factor in this apparent exit clause that existed, then didn't exist, and then existed again. The add-ons could get over 30 million. The club wanted more than 30, so maybe it's not a bad deal there. He's always been his dream to play at West Ham. Apparently he said that this week. It's
I was just
since
yeah.
he
I was
played
gonna,
there.
yeah.
It was somewhere he always dreamed of playing. I think he's the only player who has ever dreamt of always playing for West Ham. So he's gone full Robbie Keane on it, which is interesting. It's a bold strategy.
What's his name? Jordan something. I can't wait to pop all these bubbles. What's his name? Who played for Preston and signed for West
Julio
Ham?
Giorgio.
No.
Julio Giorgio, right? Yeah.
Put the ball in the top corner, man.
What's his name?
Wow.
I'm gonna. Sorry, Jay. Please continue.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah,
no,
you're
just
right,
I'm
mate,
trying to see who Giorgio playing now. From being honest, that was a blast in the past. Kev, thanks for that.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I'm of that age. Yeah, bloody hell.
I think we all are, mate.
FFF, stick a ball in the top corner, like.
Yeah.
Jordan Hugill.
Oh
When
yeah.
he signed for, I can't wait to play in front of all these bubbles, like whatever. Yeah,
I don't remember
sorry.
playing for them. Did he
Yeah,
get the pop in the bubble?
He doesn't. He doesn't even
He just
remember.
It was that brief. It was pretty much in the door. You know that
bubbles
Abe
beat him.
Simpson meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, the start of the bubbles over him. Yeah, so James, obviously Somerville leaving. He was rubbish anyway, wasn't he? He was rubbish.
Yeah, shit.
Sideways
Well,
move and all
weren't
that. What do you feel about Somerville going, mate? What's your true thoughts and feelings?
I expected it. I expected him to go.
I think we did.
The fee is a bit low for what we probably could have held out for, but then you've got to factor in the time to replace him and getting it in and getting the right player in. Because as we now know, it has to be the right player, right attitude. They have to want to really play for Leeds. There's all these factors that you got to take in. So getting the money now and getting a replacement in is probably the best thing to do because he wants to go because he absolutely loves West Ham, as we all know now. So it's in a bit, mate. He is replaceable. I mean, there's good enough players that can come into this team and replace, 3/3 of his goals. Easy.
Yeah. What about you, Kev, mate? I mean, were you good to see him go? Obviously, we didn't want a Sinisteria sort of situation that we covered on transfer deadline day last season. It's better for him to go now, isn't it? And try and find to negotiate with Norwich for about 6 weeks.
Well, I think it's a bit of a strange one, this, because at the start of the year, Marate, Farka, everything's on our terms. Because the way I look at this, I mean, you know what I'm like. I look at the conspiracy side of everything when it comes to stuff. I actually feel that he didn't trigger the clause in his contract last year, and he probably didn't do it at the start of this year. And then maybe Somerville's triggered the contract. That's why we've had to get less money for him. That's the only way that I can see anything like that going, is accepted less than 35 to 40 million. So maybe he's triggered the contract himself, and we've had to accept the money what they've offered them, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, who is he anyway? It's all about Nonto now, so yeah. That's
More
it.
like Rubbishville.
Aronson, mate. It's all about Aronson.
Yeah, all about Aronson, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain America. The real Captain America. The new one, not the old shit one. We've got a new Captain America. The one we all love.
Let's hope no one farts near him. Gets blown over.
Yeah, that's. I was actually going to bring him up because here he is with this picture from Leeds United.
I'm so happy to be here, isn't he? So happy, mate. You can tell, yeah.
So massive.
Championship.
Sticking him in an XL jersey was harsh, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
James got Harrison's house delivered. James got Harrison's house delivered to him. That's what he came through. Yeah.
He's got an extra small on now.
Yeah.
He's got an extra small woman.
Yeah. Well, obviously we'll get into the squad numbers in a minute, but our new number 11. What do you think he'll do well this season, Joe?
Yeah, I think he will. Give him a little bit of time. I think he'll be fine in this level. Absolutely.
He's doing no look assists in his first game back. He's going to smash this league. I'm telling you. I had reservations about it, but
good feet. He's always had good feet.
Yeah, I'll come to terms with staying now.
As long as he stays on them.
That's it.
If he does that, but
he might not be able to
more passes like that, and everyone will be all over him, and like he'll be well and truly forgiven if he puts a couple of those balls through again for Georgie. I'm really happy with him being back from a footballing perspective because everyone's always saying like we only brought in 4 players this year, but then you add Vobur and Aronson to that, assuming they're still here at the end of the window, and that's 6 that weren't here last year, and all of a sudden that bench now looks ridiculous. Like you're gonna have a bench the weekend potentially with Pirro, Bamford, Byram, Aronson, Vobur, Rothwell, Darlow. Like that's a hell of a bench.
And Poveda started like the first few games for us last year. That's where we were at. So
Kjeld at a left back, Shackleton right wing, 2 goalkeepers on the bench.
Galhart was getting game time.
I've actually got the team sheet here. I've actually got the team sheet here that started against Cardiff. So you got Melier, Ayling, Struijk, Cooper, Hjelde, Gray, Ampadu, Somerville, Sinistera, James, and Nonto. That's your starting 11. And you were bringing on Perkins.
Look at the Birmingham team when the players left.
Yeah, the Birmingham team. That's the one that really shows what we're working with. Yeah, that was the other players didn't want to be. Yeah.
That was the biggest game of their lives as well, weren't it? The way their commentators were going on it. If anybody remembers that, they loved it, didn't they? Because I had to watch it on the Birmingham commentary, and it was terrible. Man.
Oh yeah, they were going to win the league, weren't they? Where are they now?
Yeah.
One of the worst games of football I ever watched.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah. It was dreadful.
I think it just looked disgusting that day as well, didn't it? The way we were running around it, nothing was happening. Pascal Struijk gave away the ball about 20 times. It was just horrible. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You could see it coming though, couldn't you? When you went down, you're like, yep, fair enough.
Yeah. I remember just
Tom Brady in the stands. Oh, God.
Just doing a massive silent scream in front of the bloody television. Now, another player that I do want to talk about, and Jay, you asked for some predictions earlier, and please go check out Jay's Twitter as well, because it's put out something from all content creators, is this chap. Now, Mateo Joseph, I think he's in for a great season, and I think he seems to have just stepped up his levels. Don't you think, Kev? I mean, he's always in the right place for me. It was evident last season, where I think he came on for the last 10 minutes and he had 2 or 3 chances just by making them runs near the post or just in the 6-yard box, where Pirro should have been making them runs. What do you think he'll absolutely smash it this year?
I do, yeah. I do think he's going to be like the difference maker in a lot of big games as well this year. He just oozes confidence as well. He gets on the end of things. He is like a mixture of Pirro and Bamford, if you understand, because he's a decent finisher, but he's always running around and holding the ball up well, hassling defenders. And I'm going to agree with Andy. I think he's going to win the Golden Boot this year. I really do. I don't think there's that many strikers in the league that was as good as him, and he was our 3rd choice last year. So yeah, he's going to have a great season.
Ever since he switched to Spanish, isn't it? Ever since he's gone from England to Spain, he's just a different player. What about you, James? James, what do you think of Mateo?
I think he's the little superstar in the making. I do. That goal against Valencia was just nothing. Nothing to him. But
if that was like Thierry Henry or anybody like that, they'll be talking about it. The way he did that dummy for years. You know, it's fantastic.
I know it's a friendly, but intelligence. It was still special.
Just the intelligence to take that touch on the inside and just place it in the far corner. That to me says he's been working on his close control and his shooting. It's just the football intelligence. Because I'd have smashed it, me. I'd just toe up the bastard. But he's got the intelligence just to take it inside.
Even the Chelsea game last season, we've seen it there where he was just
that was a flash.
Just there in the right place. So I think he's going to go strength for strength. Yeah, maybe. I actually thought in my head like Rutter really might step it up this year, and I was going to put him down.
Thought in your head?
Yeah.
Where else do you think, Mike?
But I'm thinking about Joseph as well. You know, you see, because sometimes I think on my elbow. You know, so this one was in my head. So.
See, Mark makes a good point here. He says, instead of being one-dimensional as we were with Jimmy, we can now attack 3 or 4 ways. As a team, we are stronger even more. And so when Rowe signs, hopefully he does. We'll talk about that in a minute. Do you agree with that point, Kev? I mean, we've got a great attacking.
Literally just said that about 5 minutes ago, that we probably should have a lot more dimensions to us. But yeah, I agree with Mark 100%. I just feel we're going to, it's like, again, mention it, just instead of everything going through Somerville and trying to get so he cuts in, there's going to be more avenues all over the pitch, especially with a decent number 8 as well. I know Rafa's not going to play all the time, but I agree with Jer again. The way Gruev seems to have gets that bit forward as well. He seems to, because he's quite smart with his passing. I think that's going to help us as well in the final third and towards the end of the season. Because we had with Strauch out injured, that got broke up a bit. So yeah, I just feel like there's more balance to this team now with Somerville out of it than there was with him in it. But even though he was a great player on his own and won his matches on his own, it's just one of those strange situations that we're in. And I probably sound like I'm talking cat, but just please believe me, everyone, I'm right.
We did just touch on it there about the about the numbers, the squad numbers. So here, if you haven't seen them, here are the squad numbers. So you've got Melier 1.
It's not many, is there?
Bogle 2, Junior Firpo, Ampadu, Strike. My eyes are really bad, can you tell? Rodon, James
Sounds
number 7,
really good,
Rothwell number 8, Bamford is number 9, Pirro 10, Aronson 11, and then you got Mateo Joseph, and then you go on to Cairns. Jorginho still 24, and you got Byram 25, Carl Darlow, who James does not like, is at 26, Nonto 29, Geldart 30, De Bayo, who is had good flashes in pre-season for me, Voba 39,
Surprised
Chambers 42, Gruev 44, and I believe that is Charlie Crew at 50. Now,
the 27's James out of there, isn't it? Have you
I
noticed?
wonder why, Kevin.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Out of there, yeah.
It's 7 and 10 though, Joe. I mean, Dan James 7. Because his number's always been 21. Do you think there's a reason Dan James was took 7 for any speculation reasons?
He wants it.
21 at club football and 20 at international. I think when he signed for Leeds the first time, when he then left, went back to Swansea, he had 21, and then by the time he came back, Stroke was like, "No, I have that. You can't have it." So he got 20, but he wore that for his national side. He's obviously decided, "Feck it, I want 7." Or either Pirro's gone, I'll take 10, and I would have imagined Nanto and Georgie would be clamoring to get their hands on number 10, but at the end of the day, it's only a number.
Pirro's massively backed himself this year, hasn't he, to have a good season? That number.
Yeah, I think he'll have a good season. I genuinely think he'll have a really good season for us. Year under his belt, I think different player this year. But he's, as you said, Kev, he's pretty much put pressure on his shoulders to be Legion United number 10, and you're not going to sit on the bench. Although Gianni Alioski wore 10 for a long time as a fullback, so crazier things have happened.
Yeah, but he's a legend, he is.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, amongst the mentally unstable. Yes, he is. I think because Somerville backed himself with the number 10, and look what happened. He had a really good season last season. He had flashes in the Premier League, so maybe you never know. Yeah, maybe Pirro, does that this season. Right. So an interesting stat that I saw today is that in a press conference, Farker said that we've been with no injuries at all, and from LUFC stats, it's the first time since 2018 we've had a fully fit squad going into the season. Now, who do you think started working for Leeds United in 2018?
Rob Price.
Yeah. The butcher of Leeds United himself, Rob Price, Rob Spares.
He doesn't train the players though. He gets them after they've been broken, and then his job is to try and fix them. Now, maybe he wasn't.
No one could fix Bielsa's work.
No.
I have it on very good authority, Joe, that on a night time he'd sneak in and then just hit him with a hammer on the foot, like very Misery style, you know what I mean? And then sneak out. I'm just saying, it's just what people are saying to me. But yeah,
the word doctor was the one that scared me last season. It poked its head up again. Everyone and their sister had an adductor injury last year. Like Dan James for a while with adductor, Stroke went out with an adductor, never came back.
And then Dan James was off during pre-season.
Yeah, he said it again. Dan went off in the pre-season. You're like, oh, don't start with the adductor again.
I didn't even know what it was until Farker come out of it. Be honest,
code word.
Yeah, groin. It's a groin problem. But
yeah,
you don't want to have the same. You don't have loads of players picking up the exact same injury, because then it does become the training. That's the problem.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So we spoke about. Right, we need to talk about this young lad. Joe, I don't know if you've heard anything on the grapevine of this young gentleman today, Mr. Rowe your boat. But apparently Marseille today have shown a lot of interest. There's a difference between showing interest and actually talking to the club. I get that. Would he be your ideal replacement, Joe? And do you think it gets done?
I don't know if it gets done. Because there's apparently the interest in Raksaki's increased again, and he hasn't gone to Sheffield United just yet. So that's possibly what's going on there. The source that came out with the Marseille stuff was originally the Sun, which it's the Sun. So A, if you're reading it, and B, if you believe it, you should go in the bin with it, I suppose. Because it's not credible. Alan Nixon the same way.
Worthless.
Oh no, yeah, what
Gone.
the hell?
Useless now. What's the point? There's nothing in it. Yeah, Alan Nixon thinks we're still signing Sammy Smolix, but we're clearly not. So that's also the Sun. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's an attempt by Norwich to up the price a little bit. Maybe Marseille have spent 30 million quid on Eddie Nketiah today, or about to spend 30 million quid on him. Do they have a huge amount of money floating over? Because again, if you look at one of the Norwich fanzines, I suppose you call it, it's a small Twitter account. They claimed to be at a Q&A yesterday where the sporting director said he wasn't going anywhere for less than 15 million, and that apparently today they'd accepted an £8 million bid for Marseille. From reading Joe Donahue piece on it as well, apparently it's like there's interest from Marseille, but there isn't an official bid that's gone in yet. Same with Leeds, there's interest there and they've spoken, they're negotiating. But Sky Sports this evening said that Leeds were in an advanced stage of negotiations with Norwich around Rowe and would likely get the deal done. So I don't think it'll be 15 million quid. It'll probably be 10 to 12, maybe get it done. I'd like to see us get done, but at the same time, we still need a central midfielder and a fullback, and we're working within pretty tight restrictions. So if we don't have to pay 12 million, we can get him for 10. That 2 million becomes very valuable somewhere else to try and bring in a central midfielder. And I'm not sure who's put up. It could have been Adam Pope or Graham Smith's put it up that FC Cologne are under a transfer embargo now for financial issues. So Dejan Ljubic could possibly become available if Leeds decide they want to put some money on the table. But they'll need that money. So if they can get a decent deal for Rowe, save a couple of quid, and then put it somewhere else, fill the other two gaps, I think we're in a really good spot. I like Johnny Rowe. I think he's a really good player. He's got a really high ceiling. He's a young age. If we get promoted, you've got sell-on value with him as well because of his age. There's a lot of good things, and he scores goals. If you want an opinion on Johnny Rowe, go listen to Benjamin Bloom talk about him, because I was watching Joe's show last week and I've watched his prediction show. He's talked about Jonathan Rowe, and he has said, from a person who knows a lot about the Championship and has watched an awful lot of him, that he's an excellent player. He's a very, very good player, and he will score goals for Leeds if we can get him. Get him done, get a centre mid, get a fullback, and we're done. That's a great window. That's a really good window.
And keep everybody that we've got. That too.
Hang on to everyone. Yeah.
That was going to be my next question, Kev. Thoughts on Rowe, and does Nonto stay?
Ooh. Thoughts on Rowe? I really like the lad. He did go missing against us in both games, from what I can remember. Though he didn't have the best games against us, but he was coming up to sign for us. Yeah, he speaks quite highly of Leeds. If you watch those videos as well, it's when he talks about the crowd. I would prefer him than the Raksaki deal, because he would be our player. He would be someone that we would train up, and I'll do again at high ceiling. But with Raksaki, we'd probably just get him for a year to go back to Palace and probably play for their team. So yeah, Rowe all day for me. Goals. Can he get as many goals as Somerville? I'm not so sure. But the way we're sharing goals around now in pre-season, if he can get 10 to 15, then that'd be massive for us this year, because we need goals from everywhere. And if you look at the way we are on the wings now, last year we had like 4 players. This year, I believe, proper out-and-out wingers. We've only got James and Nonto. So yeah, we need somebody out there, definitely. And he's the one that I want. Yeah.
What about you, James?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, get him in. He seems like a decent player. I mean, one of our big problems last year weren't just like where the goals were coming from. It was just converting them, because we were the highest for creating chances, and just XG was like, I think we're the top. So if we can just solve that problem, we'll be massive. But yeah, get Rowe in.
Yeah, I do believe that. I think Nonto stays. I don't think the club want to get rid of him. That's just my opinion. I think he will. I think they might have said to him, "Look what Somerville did." Yeah, I know, but I just feel like they might just say, "Look what Somerville did," and you'll get your move next season, because we could be promoted then, and we'll let him go. I don't, get Johnny Rowe in as well. I'd like to see him. Last little thing now. I think Farker is under pressure this season. We have to have a good season straight away. Yeah, we had less pressure last season, and look how that turned out. I do think Farker is under a little bit more pressure than that. James, do you think it's squeaky bum time? For if all goes wrong, can you see him Leeds getting rid of him in December, Christmas time?
Maybe no, December. I don't know, because the championship is such a long season, and you can just put a good run from Christmas, and you could fucking win the league. It's that way inclined. Depends how
ourselves, didn't we?
Yeah,
that big run that we went on and put us back into contention from 17 points behind. So yeah.
It depends where we are and how we're playing, but I don't think it's under massive pressure. Maybe a bit of pressure to get up this year, but not to the extent where I think I'll get rid of him at Christmas.
Yeah. Do you share the thoughts? Share those thoughts, Joe? A bit more pressure?
I think it's a different kind of pressure this year. I think there's expectation where last year at this stage we were like, it's a bit of a mess. The takeover has just happened. We've just gotten a manager. We haven't got any players in yet. Players could still leave. Tyler Adams is threatening to sue the club. Willie Gnonto is about to go on strike, and Louis Sinister is about to threaten to sue the club as well. So he says he's got 5 weeks ahead of where he had last year. For me, he's got an entire year plus 5 weeks ahead of where he was last year. He knows this squad. He's gotten the players in that he wants. He's had 3 windows to build a team that he wants. I think there's expectation this year. I think Leeds have to go up automatically this year. I think anything less than that is a failure this year. And I think if Leeds aren't in and amongst the top 2, 3 and tightly in that group by the end of September into October, I think there will be pressure. Leeds will want to be pushing ahead. I mean, Sheffield United have already kicked off and scored already, so like they're moving and they have a decent side to keep their players well. So
I know his brother Finger. Sorry.
Oh, but yeah. Yeah.
I thought you was going to say Master, but no, you said Finger.
Sorry, no, right, quickly, and Kev, do you think the pressure's on him? Before we move on,
I think there's pressure on every Leeds manager that there's ever been in any season for the last 25 years. I actually think he'd probably thrive under it a bit more because he had a bit of an easy start last year from the fans, because considering where we were and the way Joe said, I mean, everyone forgets that Tyler Adam was going to sue us as well. His calves were falling off, and they were all promised that we're going to stay. He was going out for dinner with Ampadu. We all thought, oh my God, we're going to have the best centre midfield in the league. And then everybody does all of that, and they just all come on top of him. Everybody said they wanted to go. Vober said he wanted to stay, fight for the team. Christensen said the same. And then he had to just rebuild a whole team quite fast, and we started quite slow. This year, I think we'll get off to a really, really good start, and I don't see him looking back this year. I think he's going to be great. I think we'll be there and thereabouts from the beginning of the season. But yeah, I'm a confident guy in this team this year, big time.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think there is some pressure on Farker, but I think we should fucking piss the league. Going off what Joe just said about Sheffield United, from the tweets I'm seeing, they're all saying, I thought Ipswich got promoted, so I'm assuming it's some sort of lucky goal. But there we are. That's the championship all over. Right, we're going on to another segment now, which is the NALP 3000 has returned, updated software, Joe. So are you ready to be reintroduced to the NALP 3000? Yeah. Well, I've told him to behave, and he can be a dick sometimes. But anyway, here he is. Beep, boop, boop.
Calculating. Question found. I've been told to behave this season. But what Danny doesn't know is that I've seen his internet history. Anyway, is this squad better than last summer?
I've always liked the NALP 3000. He's such a good guy. So anyway, I'll buy him some Bitcoin later on. Well, it's that NALP 3000. So Joe, I'll come to you first. Do you think this squad is better than last season's?
If everyone stays, yeah. But that's the caveat. If everyone stays, absolutely, it's a deeper squad. Yeah. I think it's a much better squad than we had last season in terms of the amount of bodies we have and the ability, and then the different variations we have. Yeah, as long as everyone stays. Do not sell Jorginho Rutter at any costs, whatever the price is.
God, no.
No.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, things change.
Yes, big time.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's going to be so key this season. Is Jorginho Rutter?
We haven't really talked about him, have we? But he's been absolutely fantastic in pre-season, hasn't he? He's been brilliant.
That goal! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Filthy.
If
Filthy.
oh, I
What
put
a
a tweet
split.
out straight after he scored that, saying that the Met Police have opened up a criminal case against him for scoring that because that was absolutely criminal. He had no right scoring that, and he embarrassed everyone. I was embarrassed for them, their families, Jorginho.
I was about
Stop
for
it.
Nonto getting flipped over.
Yeah.
Go on then, Kev. Is this squad, as it stands now, better than last season?
Better than the one that we got relegated with, or better than the one that we started this season with?
You're going to say both, aren't you? Because I agree.
No, yeah, I think. I mean, I think we would have went up last year if all the players would have stayed that we had when we got relegated. But I also think our squad today is better than the squad that we had last season before we started the first match. Apart from Sinistera, really, because he could have been a massive game changer in this league as well if he stayed. So, yeah, I was really upset about that one. But
And
James.
it's gone well for him, hasn't it?
yeah,
James, I'd like you to answer this question here, mate. From Scooby D2. Is it though not dissimilar, methinks? I'd argue 9 is better because of Joseph and centre half's better because of Vober. Do you agree with that comment?
Yeah, for one, because I think if whoever stays, I think he'll be class in this league. Being honest with you, I think we
didn't even have
better.
Joe Roden at the start of last year either. Don't forget, Kamara and Gruev come in late. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We are better. We are better in terms of personnel, but we're also better in experience as well. So we've had a season in. So yeah, much better. I generally think we're going to fly off and take a good lead. That's what I think.
See, midfield, you could argue, it depends on your thoughts on Rothwell and if we bring Johnny Rowe in and keep everyone else. Fullback, I think Bogle's great. I like Bogle. Just to touch on that comment there.
And another
Right,
centre
then,
midfielder and another fullback. We're still looking for that as well. Don't forget.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
bringing them in will be massive as well.
I think we'll see 3 new
Sure,
players.
sure.
I think we see, as long as no outgoings, I think we'll see 3 new players incoming. A winger, a centre midfielder, and a fullback, yeah. Oh no. So there is still stuff in the air, but yeah.
Yeah.
Nice for us to finish a window off properly, though, wouldn't it? Like we've had so many windows where we've almost had everything we needed, but we've left ourselves short in one area, or we've tried to make do in another area, and that's always cost us. It would be nice to finish off a window properly and go, yeah, we've everyone in that we need. We've all the players kept that we needed to keep. We've got depth in every area of the park. It would just be nice for one season to go when the window shuts, great, business done. We're fine. Not go, yeah, we could do an extra midfielder, or we could have done with a winger, or if we'd had a fullback or a 9. But this year, I think if we get those 2, it's a really good window. And I just don't want us to make the same mistakes we've made in the past and think, we'll be all right. Because usually when we say that, we're not. Adam Forshaw and international number 9s, which both came back to bite us on the arse pretty quickly.
Yeah, very quick.
I mean, we tried to get that Amiri, didn't he? But he just decided his family didn't like it. So he fucked off.
Well, he was walking around Leeds, wasn't he?
We were looking for that sort of 10 player, weren't we, that we'd missed out on because of his antics. I like the fact that we made him get his own way home, and that was quite funny.
If we had got him, we didn't get Pirro. I believe Pirro came after him, did he not?
Did he?
No, I think Amiri was more way towards the end of the window. I think we got Kamara instead of Amiri, I believe. Because that Kamara deal was on
we left him right to the end, didn't we? We were like, we know you want to come, but we're trying to someone else at the moment.
It was
just wait for months to get better players.
And he wasn't even
went outside Thorpe Arch gates with his back.
Let me in. You've had one season now. You can go. Sorry.
Right then, let's move on to the preview then, because obviously I want to get people away. I think James has got his tap lessons. Joe, I think you've got some losing to do, catching up on. And Kev, I believe he's got a beard to grow. Right, so Leeds United are playing Portsmouth, which used to be a Premier League fixture once upon a time. At Ellen Roads tomorrow. Are we confident, guys? Joe, are we confident?
3-0.
3-0. That's a 5-0, Kev. And James, 5-0.
No, sorry, I said 4, didn't I?
You said 4.
But now you come to your senses and said it's fine.
No, I'm going to go 4. I'm going to go 4-0.
I'll start with you then, Kev. what's your team for tomorrow, mate? Who does Farker start?
The same team that started the last friendly game against Valencia. And
The
that's
first half.
definitely going to be, yeah. That's what it's going to be.
Do you agree with that, James?
Yeah. I do.
Well, I can't ask for more than that. What about you, Joe?
Ask me a question. I bloody answered it. Shoot your face.
No, you did. You did. You're right. You're right. Bloody else. Goes on a cruise and he thinks he's big hit.
I'm still there.
He's got the right colours on for a cruise, hasn't he? He's got some moccasins on as well, some boat shoes. Birkenstocks.
He's definitely got some koala shade shoes on.
Half bollock naked. Don't know.
All cruise ships have moccasin shops just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Joe? Then, mate. What's your who would you have up top?
Joseph. I think he's flying.
Joseph.
You can't not start him. He's confident. His movement's good. He's pressing. He's linking up the play. He's ticking all the boxes. If you're ever going to play the kid, it's now. He's flying, and you want a striker in confidence, and he's got all the confidence in the world. And I think him and Gio link up really, really well with each other. I think the kind of runs that he makes, Bamford doesn't make. Bamford comes towards you and wants the ball, where Joseph's like, just put your little tiny hole in there, and I'll run in the far end and get it off him. And so, yeah, I'd start him. 100% start him. I think this is the moment to pull the trigger on him.
Yeah,
and everyone else the same as it was the weekend.
Yeah,
I'm gonna shoot him.
I agree, mate. I think he starts up top, and I think he bags tomorrow. I think him and I think Rothwell will score tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0. So we've got 2-0. What did you say, James? 5. 5. Joe said
3.
3, and you said 4, didn't you, Kev? Right, bloody hell. We are confident, aren't we? Right then. Well, there's not much more. Blast from the past, actually. Connor Shaughnessy plays for Portsmouth. I am shocked.
Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy.
All right. Sorry, is that his name? Yeah, shocked I see too.
Oh no, Giraffe.
Well, he has gone around the he has gone around the circuit quite a bit, and here he is back in the championship. I just thought I'd bring that up because I heard it on. You brought it up on your podcast earlier, Joe, and I thought I'd recycle it and put it on this one if that's okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
Just keep corners away from him. Keep corners away from him.
Yeah.
He's massive. And he's their player of the year from last year. He's had a really good season last year for them.
Yeah. Just a couple of minutes before we go on to top knob. Who's going to be your top 2, James, for the end of the season? Top 2. What's your prediction?
Top 2. Leeds, Luton.
Oh, okay. Joe?
Leeds, Sheffield United.
And what about you, Kevin?
Leeds, Sheffield United.
I am going to agree. I'm going to go with the majority. I do think that there'll be. It's just Chris Wilder, isn't it? And I think they've made some okay signings as well. Right then, what we will do, we will move on to top knob, our final segment. Nearly there, boys and girls. So please do wake yourself up. What we do here is we all put nominations into the middle, and we come up with a absolute knobhead who comes out. And I might even do a top knob award at the end of the season and see. I can't send it to like
you'll have that.
Really bad people. I've got really bad people that James mentioned last season. So let's get into this week's top knob.
Top knob.
Boom. So, as they say in ancient Rome, what is your topus nobus? Kev, who are you nominating for top knob this week?
I don't know. It's no one's really been that bad this week, apart from thousands of rioters and shit and fascists and that. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go top knob this week is fascism. Fascism is top knob for me.
Fucking hell. What about you, James?
Sorry for bringing politics into this, by the way, but it's been hard for me.
It's all right. They've probably stopped watching by now.
I'm going to go communism. No, I'm not really. I'm not really. I'm going to vote Daniel and Kevin for leaving me to lose around San Francisco by myself.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Dick move.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad at that, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I was folding my unfoldable illusion trousers. Joe, what about you, mate? Has anyone pissed you off this week?
I was just liking Kev's logic that fascists don't have a long attention span, so by which stage they'll stop watching by now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just say the calendar, the transfer window calendar, the season's kicked off. It should be closed.
Yes,
Everywhere.
I agree.
Closed.
I heavily agree. It should be closed like today at 11 o'clock, say. I
But
do
if we
agree
start
with that.
shit and we can't replace some players,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Close the window now.
All right,
down with
everyone
fascism.
else isn't allowed to sign past today except for us. Is that better?
yeah, we're the only team that can buy any player we want up until
Seems
December.
fair. I agree.
At December time. That is
I agree.
fair.
So let's all. I have the casting vote. So let's give the big finger to fascism, shall we? So fascism, you are
Fucking
this
hell.
week's top nob.
Should pick Chelsea as well because they've signed 9 goalkeepers
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're fascists.
Right. Fuck the fascism off for a second. Chelsea, who the fuck do you think you are? Buying
How are they
everyone.
allowed to keep signing players? Have you seen
you know
the
what?
2 squads that they have? They can only register
Yeah.
half of them.
Absolutely
Nuts.
stacked.
I think they're going to form another team within London.
Honestly, mate, you've got to feel for their kit, man.
I reckon that's
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Todd Bowley is crazy. He's like, I'm making another team. I don't give a shit.
So
I'll
9
put them
goalkeepers.
at their ground. I'll put them in there.
They spent like 20 million each on about 3 youngsters the past week and that. I don't understand how they can keep doing this and getting away with it when we've got cash, but we're being squeaky clean about money and that. It's
They must have more
Tories
hotels they can
claiming
sell at some point
expenses.
that
Yeah,
they've
Tories
told
claiming
them to do.
expenses, but taking people's winter fuel payment off them, but they can claim £3,000 a year in expenses for heating. That's exactly what this feels like. Sorry, everyone.
Right, anyway.
I've got his beard back now.
Chelsea.
Have you been watching
And
the news?
Chelsea.
Kevin, have you been watching the news recently, mate?
Stay off the
bit,
news,
yeah.
Kevin. Anyway, come on, we're getting sidetracked. Anyway, so Chelsea, you are this week's top knob.
Top knob.
Right, that is the conclusion to this week's episode of Not Another Leeds podcast. Thank you everyone for joining us and putting up with us. Please do like and subscribe. It helps us get out there more. And we are on the road to 800 this start of this season. We passed the 700 mark just before the end, and we are more than happy. So, you know, if we get to 1,000 this season, me, Kevin, James will reenact my Yahoo. We'll probably do a version of
To be
that.
fair, I would make a really good skit with the 3 of us, to be fair.
Yeah. We just need to find an airplane wing. That's what. Yeah. Joe, thank you very much for joining us and being on the premiere for season 2. You've got a before the game, I forget what it's called. Sorry, before the game stream tomorrow. Am I right?
Yeah, doing a countdown to kick off 45 minutes before the game kicks off. I don't want to take away from watch-alongs that other people do. So 45 minutes before, team sheets will be in. We'll talk about the 2 teams and then we'll get going. Yeah.
We tried it once, didn't we, James? It was horrible. We just turned it off and stopped doing it. It was terrible. We were so bad at it. We didn't upload it. Yeah, we tried to just record it. So we got bad. Yeah, it was against Arsenal. We're getting absolutely hammered. It was terrible. So we decided not to do that ever again. Yeah.
Stop talking about and stuff instead.
Yeah. I feel for people who do watch alongs. I fair play to you because I couldn't. 1, I'm a psychopath when I'm watching Leeds, and 2, the long spaces of not being able to think of anything to say at the same time. So fair play to
anyone. I rock backwards and back and forwards.
Just put your favourite song in the spaces.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So unfortunately, there will be no podcast next Friday. I'm sure James and Kevin will do something on the Leeds House podcast channel over there. Obviously, you know, look out on socials. We'll put it all over there because some idiot has booked a holiday for next week. So I apologise for that. Obviously, go check out Joe's channel.
Come on the cruise with me, mate. You've been sweet.
I know, mate, but you know, I was folding me illusion pants. Yeah. Please go follow Joe if you don't already. Where have you been? And once again, has anybody got anything to add? Say,
wave your bean.
Wave your okay. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and we will catch you in.
Kevin wants to talk to you.
Go on, Kev. Go on.
We're gonna be back on Sunday. We haven't done one for ages as well, haven't we? So yeah.
Okay. Are we back on Sunday?
Yeah.
Right. Sunday, we'll see you there over on the Sunday Club. The Sunday Club is back. Make sure you check that out. Check all our socials.
I've got something to say too, Dan.
Is it?
I've got something to say
Is it
too,
clean?
Dan.
Is it clean?
It's clean. I just want to say thank you to Rob Price for breaking Tyler Adams. Cheers.
Right. So we'll see you on we'll see you on Sunday for the Sunday Club, but not next Friday in 2 weeks' time. So thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.